How are we doing? Gonna wait a few minutes, waiting for people to get on. My name is Amy Bacon with Spiritually, Physically, Financially Fit with Bacon. I also sell real estate in Alaska and Texas. Um, Hi, everyone. Waiting for you guys to get on. Waiting for Wayne to get on. Praying there's no difficulties today. It's going to be a great day. Just giving you guys heads up also that I'm not able to still see Facebook comments or YouTube comments. Just letting you know. Let me find Wayne. You know, these heavy hitters, they just be trying to squeeze me in, but they're such great supporters. And I will tell you that I am so blessed. Sometimes everybody's booked out months out. And, to watch people that are just amazing entrepreneurs reschedule things to make sure that they're supporting me because they choose to. And not just supporting me, but they're supporting you because they want you to be amazing and grow into your best self. Hi, Wayne. Sorry, I was like, oh my God, it's 10 o'clock. I got to get on. For some reason, I thought I had 5 more minutes, but making sure we're all connected. I like the fire there. I got me a little jacket on. I was like, oh, I'm going to practice it. I'm in the snow in Alaska right now when I'm not yet. Man, I sometimes I miss the snow and sometimes I don't, and then sometimes I don't want this heat in Texas. I like living in 2 places, but I have mixed emotions about it. So I would love hate. And thank God we have a big God that creates us a big world like that. Are you connected to TikTok? Were you able to get?
I am there.
I sent you a link. I'm getting really good at telling people this. Eventually I'm going to have like a checkoff list. But so if you go into your TikTok, I sent you a link in your messages. And if not, I can add you.
You're good.
Okay, there you go.
I'm not hearing what.
I see you. Got you. Just make sure your volume on your phone is down, because if not, okay, I see you now. Hi, everyone. Look at you guys, ready to go and learn and grow. How exciting. Oh my goodness. We had a great morning. We didn't have as big a morning as we did yesterday, but we still had a great morning on TikTok. I had almost 600 people this morning. So it wasn't 14,000, but let me tell you what, if you're still sticking it out and there's only 600, I'm happy, because I'm here if you're only one of you, because it only takes one to keep changing the world. And so I'm super excited about that. You guys, if you don't know Wayne Sammons, I've known Wayne Sammons, I think 17 years. I have seen him build. He is like an obsessive, let me see how to say this, an obsessive machine. If he's going to do it, he gets obsessed and he makes it happen. He's an amazing person. I have seen him build businesses, sell businesses, build businesses, move out of state, build businesses. He's an amazing guy. And on top of that, I don't have enough time to say all the greatest things about him, but he's also a good person. He's always helpful. And even though he's like booked up a lot, he makes time to help people. And he's an amazing person. He is a coach. He's a trainer, speaker, realtor. He helps people all over the United States and maybe the world. I don't know if I went that deep on our conversation with you. But this is Wayne Sammon. He's also my new coach to help me with my Spiritually, Physically, Financially Fit, my new launch, which is going so well. And man, I'm just so happy right now. It's basically exceeded my expectations, and I'm not sure if I had expectations because I wasn't sure. So this is Wayne Sammons. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
I'm so glad you're here. This is going to be great.
Yeah, it is going to be great. Oh my goodness, that fire. You're just thinking like, oh, maybe I need to go to sleep. Oh, I love it though. So you guys, we're
very
going to talk
good.
about, go ahead.
No, you're good. Keep going.
Now, Wayne, am I missing something great about you? Can you tell me? What else,
You
what else so
know,
great about you? You're an author, right?
You got it all. I'm moving my microphone here so it doesn't double up. There we go. Now, you hear me?
I can't hear you. Is your volume down on the phone?
It is.
I was finding the other day, I think that was a problem. Oh, here, let me put Wayne up there. I know you guys like to look at me, but I'm trying not to be about me all the time. Let's see if I can get Wayne on my TikTok here. There he is. Yep, there he is. I got him. You guys, TikTok, that's Wayne Salmons. Great, amazing person. He is now in Dallas, Texas. Okay, so Wayne, finish telling me about you and telling them about you, because I'm sure I missed something on your big list.
No, you're doing
of
great.
amazing stuff.
No, you're it's in real estate for many years, real estate agent, there for a long time, amazing. And, hit rock bottom years ago. So I kind of sabotaged my whole entire life. When you're real life doesn't kind of match your reality. When you don't believe you're worth something, you
Hang on.
and do all sorts of things. Are you not hearing me?
I can hear that, but sometimes it starts going bubbling like you're in the water. Go ahead and talk again.
Do I need to move speaker or what is it? I think it's it's messing me up a little bit. Can you not hear?
Yep, I can hear you. It's just that sometimes you talk and then you get bubbly and you can't hear you.
It's echoing really bad. So I'm not sure why.
Yeah. I can't hear you.
I wonder when I mute it, I still get that.
I can hear you now.
I'm just not sure why I'm getting an echo here.
It's because sometimes you'll talk and then sometimes you'll say something, then it'll go and do something different. Do we need to click out and click back in? Maybe because it's oh, try that. Oh, I think I know what happened, but it might have been me doing something. Okay. Okay. Okay, Wayne, you want to try to get on? Sorry, guys, I had to get back on.
All right, we'll try it again.
I think I saw this little microphone and it was blocked off underneath your name, and it's something I learned. I don't know what it is, but every day I'm learning something new. Every time I'm like, I got it together. I'm 30 minutes early. I've got this. And then all of a sudden something else happens. But I think I need to know that. And then I know yesterday, I think it was, I had problems seeing Kevin. Let's see. Hi, Coach Wayne from the session. Oh, okay. Let's don't hide you. I got you up on live. Okay.
All right, we'll see if it works.
So again, my name is Amy Bacon with Spiritually, Physically, Financially Fit with Bacon, and we are officially launched. Yay! It's been a long time coming. Yes, thank you so much. And my guest, Wayne Salmons, is going to tell us about himself. I'm sorry, Wayne, is it okay if you start over just because?
Absolutely. Yeah, we can do whatever you want. I'm here.
Yay! I said I love that to you. You're like, it's okay. Let's just get it done. No attitude or craziness. I love it. Okay.
So my career, I was born at a young age. And then went on from there. No, I was in real estate for many years, which was awesome, and was one of the 30 under 30 for Realtor Magazine back in the day. And then
Remember
real estate was. Yeah, real estate was going great. It grew a big business. And then you saw some of this. I totally self-sabotaged my life. So my belief system, like I didn't feel like I was worthy of the success I was having. All right, all these other things came in. I ended up having an affair. I screwed up my entire life to the point where I was laying on the floor of a vacant building in Wasilla, Alaska, getting ready to take my life. And it hit me at that moment that nobody was coming to save me. But maybe I could go one more day. Maybe I could, be my own hero. Like I had to step up for me. So that kind of led me on this whole journey of going through my beliefs in myself, how I saw myself, all what my value was, right? Because at that point, kind of my values in the stuff I had, right? The accolades, the stuff, like the stuff had me, I didn't have the stuff, right? So like there's all these things that led to that, like crash out on the floor, ready to take my life moment. And I'm grateful that I went through rebuilding and get kind of figuring out who I was and what I'm about and why I'm here and my purpose in life and all that. And that led me into more of kept doing real estate for a while, but then went on to do Bold for Keller Williams, and that led me into coaching. So now I get to be a life and business strategist for people all day long, and help people build amazing lives faster with fewer bruises. So it's pretty awesome, kind of like what you do, right? Like help people get dialed in, figure out who they are, what they really want, and give them the tools to get after it.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I took Bold when many years ago. That was my first class to teach me about
Yes.
real estate. Was probably the hardest class I ever took. I think I cried every Tuesday because I didn't have no pendings or nothing like everybody else did. But man, in 4 months, I had made like $40,000. I mean, it changed my life. And I just learned the numbers game of, you know what, if every 100 leads you have, if you only close one, if you suck, you'll close one. And I was like, man,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
suck. I'm still stuttering on my scripts.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. You just ask, even if you're terrible, you ask 100 people if they want to buy or sell a house. Somebody's gonna say yes. It's gonna happen. And in the beginning, it's about like just taking action. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's amazing that you coach that. So Wayne, well, let's talk about this week. I wanted just to, everybody, all the entrepreneurs always say get clarity. They basically kind of always say
Yes,
that, right?
yes.
Talk to me about clarity, and we'll start from there, and then we'll start reflecting on what you're thinking.
Yeah, man. I think it's such an important time of year. Most of us are so busy being busy, and we end up having like the same year over and over and over. Right? And what we both learned in Bold is most of us have 80,000 thoughts a day. It's just writing the same ones over and over and over, kind of on repeat. Um, so I think the most valuable gift that somebody can give themselves is like self-awareness and intentional review. So it's like, what am I about? What do I want? Right. But then reviewing and not just review. I think a lot of us as entrepreneurs, we review haphazardly, which is like, I sucked last week, I'm going to do better next week, right? Like I was terrible at that appointment, like I'm going to work harder next time. Like we have these like unconscious reviews, but it's just like a pinball or a ball in a pinball machine, and it's not like actually helping us and moving us forward. So I
Yeah.
think it's a phenomenal. I think one of the best gifts you can give yourself is like stop for a second, ask yourself some of the questions I'm going to give you, and really do a little bit of reflecting. Most people will spend more time planning a Christmas party than they will actually reviewing their life and planning for next year. And like that, blows my mind, right? The most people do it. They'll spend more time planning a Christmas party or their kids' party, whatever it is, than they will actually going like, what worked this year, what didn't work, what do I want to do different this next year. And I think it comes down to questions. Like when you ask wimpy questions, I mean, you know this better than anybody. You ask wimpy questions, you get wimpy answers. You ask great questions, you get great answers. So giving people new questions and new ways of looking at things and just sitting and reflecting with that is amazing. So the quality of your life is in direct proportion to the quality of your questions. And most of us are asking habitual, like not great quality questions.
Yeah. Wow. That's, you know what? Yeah, that's very true. So Wayne, so how do we come up with the questions, or how are you coming up with the questions? How are you?
That's what we're here for. That's what you and I are here for, right? To give the questions. So I'm going to lay some out, and then hopefully somebody, you may need to go back and watch this over again to really get them. But I think the first thing to do is ask yourself. I mean, I love to start with gratitude, right? So looking back at this year, what was great? What worked? What was great? What am I grateful for about my job? What am I grateful for about my life? What am I grateful for about the year? Um, and then go into, like, let's review this year. And some of those questions are, and I'll just ask you some if you're okay, and give people time to reflect on them a little bit.
Okay.
Like, Amy, what are you? And I'll share all this with you, and you can share it out with whoever. But
Okay.
what are one or two of your proudest moments from the year?
Um, my proudest moments from the year would be. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry about that. Um, let's see. My proudest moments for the year would be. I came out of like being sick, and my body rejected an
Yep.
implant, and I was very ill. And so I would say I've been healing this past year, and I'm very
Yep.
strong now. I'm healthy and stuff. That's a big win. Um, I had moved, and look, I had moved from a $500,000 condo that was new construction to another new construction. And I'm saying this to tell you this story, okay? So I had bought all new
Yeah.
furniture, staged it, moved into another house, 4 bedroom, 3 bath, just me and my dogs, and
Yeah.
staged it so nice. It was a ranch. I went from a 3-story condo to a house. It was all new construction. And I was just unhappy. And I remember my housekeeper, she goes, Amy, she goes, it's not your house. And I kept
Mm.
moving. I kept buying, and I mean, not buying it or whatever, moving and moving, moving.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no. And so now I am in a place where I'm like, I'm not allowed to move until I'm happy. And so I told myself that. I said, you're not buying things. And so when I started seeing that, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I was buying things, and I was trying to think that
Yeah.
things were what was going to make me happy instead of
Yeah.
really figuring out what the issue was. And I had been sick, like I said, not walking very much and going through all this stuff. And then I had to learn to get back in my tribe, get back into my life, get back into people's
Yeah.
lives, because I
Yeah.
wasn't doing that. I had isolated myself
Yes.
because I didn't want people to see me down, depressed, or
Yeah.
weak walking across. I didn't even
Yeah.
want my own family seeing that part of me,
Wow.
because it was embarrassing to me, because I'm this
Yeah.
strong leader that people look up to. And I feel like I'm somewhere underneath the dirt, and the worms in the dirt have a better life than me. And that's how I felt. So when you say,
Wow.
what was my wins? Not, and I know I'm talking a lot about it, but that's a big win for
That's
me,
great.
to get to a
Yeah.
place where it's like, I'm happy. I'm growing. I mean, do I have days that are still
Yes.
I struggle? Yeah, absolutely I do. And I'm not going to be. I'm authentically me. So I do have days, but most of the days I'm doing really great, because there was a day that I was like, God, do you really want me here? Because I'm ready to go. That's how I
Yeah.
felt. Kind of
Yeah.
like what you
Yeah.
went through, right?
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
reflecting back, that was one of my big wins. And another
Yeah.
big win is that I have another grandbaby. It's a little girl, and
Oh,
she's
it's awesome.
other than my daughter-in-law's, she's the first girl in our family. Thank you, God. I'm gonna be a
I
good
love
steward
it.
over her, because God's always gave me boys. I'm not sure really why. Maybe because I'm tough or strong, or I don't know. Maybe
That's great.
I haven't figured it out. But that's it,
Oh, it's
Wayne.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. Well, and I think it's so important to go back and be like, hey, what am I proud of? What was great this year? And then for you, when you really think what you were proud of, and what was good, like for a lot of us, it's living in alignment. So I think it's one of the things that most people don't do, is they don't figure out what their values are and their goals. And like, I'm happiest when I'm living in alignment with my values. And my values, my top three values are connection, impact, and fun, right? So if like you, like if I'm making an impact, if I'm connecting with amazing people, and I'm having fun, like holy cow, like those are great days for me. If I'm not doing that, it's not good, right? Like if I'm just making money or something, like that's not okay with me. So then I think you go into like let's look at, and it's a great thing to go back. One of the things that I have people do sometimes in a workshop is write down your three lowest moments, and then write down three of your highest moments. And what they discover is usually the three lows, or three, two or three of their lowest moments were when they were out of alignment with their values, right? I let somebody walk all over me. I didn't hold to my boundaries. I was chasing money, but not impact, whatever it is, right? And then the three highest moments were usually things that were in alignment with their values. So I think one of the best things you can do, as we're talking about this, is like look back over the year and ask yourself questions like, what do I want to do again? What do I not want to do again? Like what brought me energy and served me? What didn't? And I think everything is ask yourself as you look at the last year, as you kind of go things, what do I want to do again? What do I not want to do again? And it's like there's three things. Like, was it a high end? Did I get a return? What was my ROI? And you have three big assets you're spending: your time, your money, and your energy. So if it wasn't a good return on my time or my money or my energy, like it's probably a hard no. And if it was a good return on my money and my time, like that's awesome. Or time and my energy, like if you can get two or three of those, it's awesome. So everything I'm doing, is it in alignment with my goals? And am I getting a high return on my investment, whether it's time, money, or energy? And I think that's huge. So then you ask yourself, like, what worked well this last year, and what didn't work well, and literally take a moment, to sit with that and make a list. What worked well, what didn't work well. Write down some of those things, because if we don't get really conscious of it, we're not going to be able to change anything. And one of my favorite questions is, and this I love this question. If I could go back and do this year over again, like if I could do this year over again up to this point, what would I have done different? What are the one or two main things I would have done different if I could do this year over again?
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, it's like, I would have focused more on this. I would have got more clear on my calendar. I would have done more lead generation. I would, like, whatever those things are. But I think it's such a great centering question to go, what specifically, and here's the other thing, like, don't let him get away. And I know you're good at this. Don't let him get away with a high-minded answer. I would have worked harder. I would have been more intentional. I would have focused more. I don't know what the heck any of that means. I want specific answers. I would have spent 2 hours more on this. I would have said no to this specific thing. I would have done, more. So let's get specific with this so we don't get lost in general.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot to think about.
It's a lot.
It can be depressing too. Like, dang.
It absolutely can. It absolutely can. Yes.
This way.
Yeah. And it should be a little depressing. And here's what this is the worst motivational speaker you've ever had on. Right? It's not about beating yourself up, but it is about creating awareness. Yeah. Right? Because then you go, here's what I did good. Here's what I didn't do so good. And you don't need to stay there, but you do need to acknowledge it. And then the most beautiful question is, here's what I did good. Here's what I didn't do good. What will I do different next time? And that's the most important question, because that's the moving forward piece. Like, what will I do different next time? Once you make that decision, it allows you to kind of move forward, because most of us that have self-awareness we're fancy victims. And here's what I mean. We're like, man, I did crappy with my schedule. I'm going to do better. But we just kind of like beat ourselves up over that. And it's like almost like we're trying to pay penance or something, right? Like, man, I was so bad yesterday. I did so terrible with my, we beat ourselves up as if like we're paying the penance or whatever for our sin. And it's like, now you're just a fancy victim. Now you're just a victim that's not really changing, but you're beating yourself up. That's not helping anybody.
A fancy
now you're just a victim in a tuxedo, right? Like you're taking responsibility, but kind of not, because nothing's changing, right?
Wait, I'm seriously like, oh my God.
Yes.
I'm
talking from experience. This is just therapy for Wayne is all this is, right? Like I've been there, right, over and over and over. So this one of the things I learned from my coach. This is so good. Okay. He said, grace with more grace leads to apathy and complacency. Like that's not good. Grace with just more like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's like, that's not healthy. Grace with recommitment. That's beautiful.
Grace with recommitment.
Man, I could have done better yesterday. Here's what I did good. Here's what I didn't do so good. Here's what I'm doing tomorrow. So grace
to reflect
with recommitment.
Should that be on the morning reflection sheet? I mean, grace. Yeah. What did I do good? What did I didn't? This is what I could do different. So you're constantly reflecting on your spiritual, physical, and financial goals.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's great. I think everybody has their own rhythm. For me, every morning I want to write down what I'm grateful for. I want to write down my three main to-dos for that day, or my three main musts. Then at the end of the day, I write down my wins and what I'm grateful for, and any lessons learned. So I find those are good. Those are kind of good bookends. But I think everybody has their own. But I find those are good ones.
Are you rewriting your stuff? You're rewriting your goal,
So it's,
or what'd you say?
yep.
At the end of the
So
day,
at the beginning of the day,
nobody ever talks
yeah.
about
So beginning of the day, three things: gratitude. What am I grateful for? What are my goals for this quarter? And what are my musts for the day? Awesome. At the end of the day, I write down three more things. What did I learn today?
Okay.
What were my wins today? And what
Okay.
am I going to bed grateful for?
What am I going to bed grateful for? Oh, that's a really good something to put in your neural pathway for you to go to sleep on. Okay. Awesome.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. So I find those bookends are really, really helpful. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So then once we have a little deep dive into last year, right? What was good, what was not good, all kind of right. What am I going to do different? Then we got to transition and really think about this next year. And some of the great questions to ask yourself are, especially let's say you're in the real estate space or whatever, like, what are my goals for this next year? Most people know to do that, but then it's like, is my source of clients enough to hit my goals for this next year? Like, is where are my buyers coming from? Do I have enough? Is that lead funnel or that source working? It's gonna work for this next year. Where are my sellers coming from? Is it producing enough for me to hit my goals? Right? Like, I kind of review like, hey, if I want to double my goals next year, is what I'm doing going to lead me there? Or do I need to do something different? Right?
Okay.
And really thinking about that, asking yourself like, what are my goals for next year? What does my week need to look like? Like, what does my week need to look like starting January 1, that if I do that week 52 times, I'm going to hit my goals?
Okay.
Like, does my calendar match my goals? And I think it's such an important thing to ask, because one of the great questions to ask right now this time of year is, one of my favorites: what am I pretending not to know? And you see this all the time, right? Like, you ask people questions, they know the answer, but they may be, especially in coaching, right? But they may be pretending not to know. So I love asking questions like, what am I pretending not to know? And some of the answers are, man, I'm pretending not to know that the way I'm doing my schedule is going to work. I'm pretending not to know that I need to change that thing. I'm pretending not to know that if I don't get up early in the morning, right, I'm not going to hit my goals. I'm pretending not to know that my lead sources are not going to be enough. I'm pretending not to know that if I don't start taking care of better of my body, that I'm going to be tired and worn out. Like, what am I pretending not to know right now that I need to just have some awareness around and start figuring out, what do I want to change?
That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. That's something. Yeah. Pretending not to know. What do
It's
I
a
want?
little painful. It's a little painful.
Yeah. I find that sometimes I hide from certain things. If I think the giant's way
Yeah.
too big and I can't do it, or I don't have the knowledge to do it, I tend to run. I
Yeah.
wish, you know what? I wish I didn't say that, but when I look back at all my journals and everything, and I go, man, I still got that one big giant. And I go,
Yeah.
man, why do I have that? I said, you know what? Because I have to go learn something to conquer that giant. So if I have a big giant, Wayne, in my life, or maybe I have five, because everybody's different. Like if you're going to, and we're talking entrepreneurs, realtors, or whoever you are, or you may not even be that. You may just be getting started. You may have a giant. Your giant could be just, I got to build my credit, or whatever, just to be able to buy a house, or I got to have a savings account or whatever. But your giant might be even bigger than that. I mean, I know that I try, this is my giant, and then I write it down. But then the giant that I have is pretty big, and then I wrote it down, and then it's hard to get the education and find the right people. And so when you
Yeah.
face a giant, when that it's so big, what do you do? What are the questions that you ask yourself? Or let's talk about that, the giant in your
Yeah.
life.
So I think it's a couple things, right? I think one is asking yourself, like, what's important about this? So I think the first step is like, why is it important to me? Right? What's important
Okay.
about making this amount of money, or what's important about, getting this thing done? So I think the first I was really clarifying, what am I hoping to gain from this? What's so important about this? So getting really clear on the why and what's behind that, right?
Okay.
Then I think the second thing is doing the math. What is it going to take? If I want to save $50,000 this year, right? What's the math on that? That means maybe every week I got to put $900 in a savings account, right? Like, what's the math behind that, and then am I willing to pay the price? Am I willing to do it? Sometimes goal setting is a little bit messy, but I think it's okay to do the math and figure out and then acknowledge, am I willing to pay the price? Then the next step is doing what you said you're going to do when you don't feel like doing it. Right. So that's the definition of commitment.
No, we got to do that.
Right? Absolutely. Yeah. It's like, all right, I said this is what I wanted. Here's why. I figured out what it's going to take. Hey, it was 50 contacts a day. It was going live every single day. It was whatever it is, right? Like, here's what it's going to take. And then doing what I said I was going to do when I don't feel like doing it. And that's the difference between people that are led by emotions and people that are led by their choices. And it's like, can I do what I say I'm going to do when the feeling is past, when I don't feel like doing it? And that's one of the biggest differentiators between the successful and the unsuccessful. The unsuccessful wait to feel like they want to go to the gym. The successful people know, like, once I go, I'm going to be really glad I went and I'm going to feel like going. So that's a huge differentiator. Yeah.
So
and then beyond that, keep going.
Yeah, just talk about that, because that's a big problem that we have in our bodies, is that we tend to chase the easy. Like Danny said, we tend to chase the easy and not solve the problems when we really need to solve the problems.
Yes.
How do we change our mindset and rewire our brain to, what are some steps that we could do, or what is something we could do every day that could help us to not chase the easy?
Well, I think first off, it's like acknowledging your mind is not your friend all the time. Right? Like, my mind craves easy. My mind wants me to avoid pain. My mind, like it's working against you sometimes. So it's like, sometimes my mind will be like, I'll be needing to get up in the morning to go to the gym. And, Bob, who is, I call the part of my brain that's not serving me. Bob's like, we should sleep in. We should chill out today. We should just, like, this bed's great. And I'm just like, Bob, I don't need you. You know what I mean? Or like, I'm about to make a phone call and it could go bad. Bob's like, this could go bad. They could not like you. I don't know if you're ready. And I'm just like, Bob, I don't need you right now, bro. Like, we got goals. Here's where we're going, right? But like, I have to remind myself and have this conversation with my brain, right? Like, the villain in my brain wants to hold me back. It tells me I'm not enough. I don't have enough, right? All this stuff. And the hero in my mind is like, dude, nobody's coming to save you. You got to start right now, just where you are, right? And it's like, man, which one of those voices am I going to listen to? And it's kind of like that old, right? Which dog is going to win the battle? The one you feed. So it's like, man, I got to feed this guy all over and over, right? Doing stuff like this, listening to you, reading books, hanging out with successful people, all that kind of stuff. It's a battle. It's a battle every single day.
It is. If you think people just wake up and they don't battle anything in their mind, you're wrong, and they're wrong, and they're lying because they're lying. Okay? Because every single person, I promise you, and Wayne, you can vouch for this. Every single person. Where did that come from? Every person that you entrepreneur or people, they all battle that. So you think that they don't? They do. Every one of them battle their minds. Some people they go to that something to make them feel good. They chase the easy, right? And so they do. You have to get up. And I like what you said. You got to feed the dog. I'm glad I have the transcript.
No, whichever one you feed's gonna win, right? So and the great thing, you and I learned this years ago. Like, I'm either gonna defend my limitations or I'm gonna fight for my greatness, right? And there's unlimited reasons why I should not be successful. There's also unlimited reasons why I should be successful, whatever success means to you. But like, I get to find what I go look for, right? If I say I'm going to find red stuff, I find a bunch of things that are red. If I say I'm going to find green, I find a bunch of things that are green. So like, it's an oversimplification, but you really do find what you look for. But I think that the choice that you're saying is like, you have to make that choice every day. I gotta renew my mind every day. I gotta remind myself who I am. I gotta remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I've got to pour in good stuff to help me feed the side of my brain that I want to win.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I mean, we do. And you know what? Here's the thing: is the Bible tells us that. It tells us it. People always go, "Oh, it's the Bible, it's the Bible," but all the motivational book stuff they got from the Bible, they just claim it as theirs. But really, it tells us to get up, renew our mind, because
Absolutely.
you got to get happy, you get excited, and like Wayne says, you got to align. You got to go find the people that are supposed you got to go do what you're called to do, what you desire, what you love to do. And you got to just go do it. And then you got to do it and tell your mind what to do. I always say that, you know, your mind is like, if you're going to tell your dog, well, maybe not because my dogs don't listen to me. And maybe I shouldn't even say my children, but you know, when you have somebody that actually listens to you and your family all the time, I love my family, but you know, you can tell it what to do and it does it. The same thing your mind. You just tell your mind. When the thought comes in there, you tell the thought, go. You know what? I'm going to choose this today. I'm going to choose not my feelings today. Today I'm going to choose this. And you might have to tell yourself that over and over again until you're feeling it. And sometimes it's just, I remember I did this with my grandson, is that when he'd be sad, I'll go, we're just going to laugh. We're going to laugh. And I do this. And I'm like, ha, ha, ha. And I just start laughing. Oh my goodness. And I just keep doing it until we're really laughing. And you know what? Have you guys ever seen these little, they look like a peel. And it's a little peel and it's a little stuffed animal and it laughs. And I used to give them away. I used to buy them and give them away to people.
I love it.
Because I was like, if you just do that, you start laughing and it's crazy. And I was trying to do it long enough where you could catch on to what I was trying to say. Because I was trying to we can change our mood that quick. And I mean, just try your 60 seconds or 30 seconds. And I mean, if you're really negative, you might need 2 minutes, but whatever, just get up, jump up and down. And, oh my God, I'm amazing. I'm beautiful. I'm amazing. I'm going to get to this gym. I'm going to do this. I mean, you listen to, it's like, I think I learned from John Maxwell, speak 20 times before you get out of bed. Just do it, just do it, just do it. I think it was John Maxwell that said that. And then you have, I don't follow her a lot, but it's a male somebody. Gosh, she does the let them thing now, but somebody told me she does the 5 4 3.
Mel Robbins, yeah.
Yeah, she did the 5 4. I think she does that one. So you can see even entrepreneurs, successful people that train leaders, they're telling you, you can change your mindset. You can change your life, you know, by just doing it. And I taught you how to be happy. So you can't tell me you're not happy because I just taught you how to do it.
Is so great. Well, and like the science behind it is like, there's 3 things you can do to change your state this fast. And there's 3 things. So if you're watching this, write these down. Like the first one is like you're like my physiology, right? Like if I stand up, I feel better, right? If I'm slouched, it's like if I said sit like you're depressed, you would know how to sit. If I said sit like you're excited, you would know how to sit. So like, what's my physiology saying? So you just need to do 5 jumping jacks. The second thing is, what am I focused on? And if I'm focused on, you know, if like if you're driving down the road and you focus on a tree too long, you're probably going to drive into that tree. Like, what's my focus on? And then the last one is the words. Like, what words am I using? You know what I mean? And if I, like you said, if I say I'm tired, I start feeling tired. If I go, I'm excited, like you can't say it 10 times and not feel a little bit more excited, right? You know, it happens. You know, I love telling the story of, you know, have you ever had that day where like you get home at the end of the day, you're exhausted. Maybe somebody, you know, your spouse asks you to take the trash out and you're like, you don't get it. Like I would die. Like if I took 2 more steps, I think I'd just die on the sidewalk. Like I don't have anything in me. Like you're asking me to risk my life. Like I'm dead here. I'm so freaking tired. There's no way I could possibly do this. Right. And then imagine your best friend calls you and goes, oh my goodness, I have tickets to the thing tonight that we've always wanted to go to. What? All of a sudden you're like, man, we on. Like when you pick me up, where are we going? What are you wearing? Like what? Like all of a sudden it went from the edge of death to like, this is gonna be the greatest night of my life. Let's go. Right? Like nothing physically changed, right? But what you focused on, what you were thinking on, right? All of a sudden your body perked up, right? You can change your emotion that fast. It is a choice. And I'm not saying that doesn't mean it's easy, but you can begin to condition yourself. So it's like, I tell people all the time, like, you know, let's say that, it used to take you, 3 days to get back up. And then you're like, man, I'm getting better and better at this, right? Now it's just a day. Like, okay, well, I caught myself sooner. I can do the work and get back. And maybe now it's an hour. Maybe now it's 20 minutes. Maybe it's 5 minutes. Maybe it's 2 minutes, right? But like, it's a conditioning process over time.
Yeah, I love that. I think it was my pastor was saying, what you can't fast from, if what you can't fast from masters you. And even in the Bible,
Ooh,
I always go back to spiritual
that's
stuff
good.
because I believe in Jesus and I don't leave him out.
Yep.
But in the beginning, when Cain killed Abel, it was the same thing. God came to him and said, and he was jealous of his brother. It was all it is. He was jealous of his brother. And God tells Cain, you know, if you don't master it, it's going to control you. It's going to take over. So it's sin. So here's the thing: is God saying is that sin is trying to take over. It's trying to take over your life. So if you don't master it, it's going to take over. And what happened? He ended up killing his brother. And but God warned him, hey, if you don't master this jealousy, this anger, you know, and like us today, it goes with the same thing, you know. If you don't master it, and you might want to practice if you're just so obsessed with it, and you just, you know, and it keeps bothering you, fast from it. Oh, you're not allowed to come take up in my mind. This is like my little web, I guess, because of the background. So funny. I'm like, man, y'all didn't know. I got some new. I didn't even know I had.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, we have to work on that, man. It is a battle for everybody in the world. Yeah. So.
So when you're coaching somebody, what's the one or two things you have them do to kind of start mastering their mind? Like, what's the one or two things you suggest that they do?
This is what I do because I've been teaching for 10 years. Homeless vets. There's a 6-month program they go through, and I teach in 2 cities. I've been doing this not in 2 cities for 10 years because they just kind of promoted me a few years ago to that. But so what I do is, so I teach people who's coming out of addictions, PTSD, blah, blah, blah. The first thing the Bible tells us to do is resist the devil, he'll flee from you. And then you may say this, oh my God, and I've been there, you know, where I've just laid there and I'm just listening to the torment. And I will tell you, this is what I do, okay? So if I'm laying there, I'm crying, I'm depressed, and I went through this, you know, when you're sick, you're on medication, you think you're going to die. I thought I was going to die. I gave all my stuff away. I was preparing for my death, okay? And I just remember just feeling so worthless and so unhappy and so lonely because I didn't want people around me to see me because it was embarrassing, right? But I lay on the bed, and as I lay on the bed, I started to quote, what does God say? Well, so God says, no weapon formed against me is going to prosper, okay? Any tongue that rises up against me in judgment shall be condemned. So what I do is that every scripture I can think of, I start speaking it. And if you only know one, just keep speaking it. Because as you speak it, the devil's going to go away because he doesn't want to be around all that. So it's going to be whatever you agree with. And so sometimes you got to do that. When I was new in my relationship with Jesus 20-something years ago, I get the word of God out and I would just read it out loud. And I know this sounds really weird to you, but if you're struggling mentally and you want to kill yourself and you can't take it anymore, because I literally cried to God and said, God, I can't take it anymore. I want to die. I felt like a worm had a better life than I did. I was struggling mentally that long. I just wanted to go because I didn't have self-worth anymore. I thought, God, this is terrible. Who wants to live like this? It's a little emotional, but it's for real. So when I was new, I just would read it out loud until I could get my mind back. Now that I know a lot of scriptures because I study it every day or read it every day, I would just lay down. And as I laid down, I don't know, I got some little tears. I'm such an emotional, passionate person. It's such a beautiful part.
I love it. I think it's great. Yes, it is.
Thank you. So I would just lay there and I would just tell myself over and over again until I could get peace. But sometimes I don't want to. Sometimes I'd lay there, Wayne, and I would just agree with it and feel sorry for myself because I couldn't see hope. I couldn't see out of this. I mean, and you know what? And then it's even worse when somebody goes, man, people would die to be you. You know, because you're looking in social media, you're looking on the outside, you're not really seeing the battle I'm going through here of so much hurt and so much pain and so much betrayal and so much sickness and so much whatever. And so going back to what are the tips that I tell people? Resist the devil, he'll flee from you. What if it comes back? I teach people this. If you watch my video, I teach about the shark. Some people just watch me saying amazing and they just skip on. But I teach about the shark. So I like to go spearfishing. If you follow me, I'm adventurous. I like to go do outdoor stuff. So when I was training to go spearfish, they taught me about the shark and you got to fight the shark. So the shark comes, you hit it in the nose. The shark may leave and may not come back, but sometimes the shark comes back, so they're gonna hit it again. I actually have a friend who actually beat a shark off another lady. He was on the front of a magazine. He's a really good friend of mine. I should have him on here. He went over there, beat up the shark, and then got the shark off of the girl that's surfing with him. Okay, so here's the thing is that sometimes you got to do that. Well, that's like the devil. Okay, the devil comes. If he thinks you're going to be weak and quit, he's going to keep coming back because he wants to win. Do you see what I mean? The Bible says he come to kill, steal, and destroy, but God came to give life and give it more abundantly. You got to figure out who you're listening to. Is it giving you life and giving abundantly, or is it, you know what I mean? Is it coming to kill, steal, and destroy? Kill your dreams, right? Steal your peace, steal your life, steal whatever, because it's trying to do that. So we're not going to agree with that. Just kind of like you were saying, like we have to talk about it. So my tips are resist the devil. Tell your brain. I tell this to my guys there at the VA, you know, resist the devil, tell your brain what to do and renew your brain. Start feeding it. I am great and I am wonderful. I don't care if you don't believe it. You got to get up and you got to tell yourself that you're great, you're wonderful and everything. I promise you, you can go out. I can walk out my door today and as fabulous and amazing as I am, I can find somebody who doesn't think that. I've literally been rejected by people. I know that's going to shock you, but I've been rejected by people that said they don't want me in their life, that I don't have value to them. They don't see value in me. Yeah. So, but if I listen to them and agree with them because I maybe loved them or I liked them or I thought something of them or I thought they had this great gift, because sometimes what we do, I've even went way back in my life where somebody I looked up to, and I'm not going to say who it is, not that they're watching, but I'm just out of respect, but I looked up to them and I told them my dream and they shot it down like it was a joke. Yeah. And I went home and I was crying. I was like, this is terrible. So if I would have agreed with that person, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Yeah. And the only way to not to is like you said, pour in the good stuff. Realize that in your mind, there's two voices, right? Going all the time. And who you really are is the observer of that. Like I get to choose which voice I give attention to and who I feed and who I don't, like you said. And man, what you said earlier is so powerful. Like, get your I am statements written down. Like who are you in your essence? Get those 10, 15 I am statements written down and go over them. Right? I am a child of God. I am love. I am passionate. I'm getting better and better every day. Like whatever those are for you, like get 10, 20 of those written down. Cause I'll tell you what, your identity is so critical. And if you don't remind yourself who you are, the world will try to tell you who you are and it won't be in your favor.
Because they want to be above you. A lot of people are competing with you and jealous, and you may think they're not. Oh yeah, I can tell you this, that if you're not, and I'm always so aggressive when I talk sometimes, but if you, let me tell you, I'm going to tell a story because it's been on my mind this whole week, and I just feel like this is the right time. I used to win by losing. And I'm going to pause for a minute because I want you guys to think about that. I used to win by losing. You know, I got it in me. I'm an athlete. I mean, a person, I get obsessed. I make it happen. I mean, you tell me something, I do it, you know, especially if I get a reward. That's how I'm motivated. I got to have my little rewards, you know. And, but I allowed somebody to be in my life many years ago when I was young. And that person was so jealous of me. I kept being less than so she could win. Yep. Yep. And when God, it wasn't me that removed them. God took the favor away. And that person has not been in my life anymore. And as soon as that person was removed and I lost the favor, I went, and Wayne knows my story. I mean, he knows where I was at nothing and I became something in the top in the state with many other top agents in the state of Alaska for many, 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 many years. And I mean, I had to climb that myself. And so I don't win by losing anymore. And that is something I tell myself anymore. You're not allowed to lose. You're going to go win. And we also don't agree with somebody in the past because they don't think you can do something. If you can sing and you believe you can sing, go sing. Just get better at it. If somebody in your past,
like you said, just don't buy into their projections. A lot of times it's their projection. Yeah. Yeah.
Or they're jealous of your gift because we don't have the same gift. We're all different. Yeah.
And here's one of the reasons why people will turn you down. And this was helpful for me. You know, let's say you grew up on a street with 4 friends. And then all of a sudden you're the one that kind of, you know, goes off and really does something with your life. You know what I mean? Well, those 4 people, you meet them a couple years later and they've got to wrestle with themselves, right? It's like, well, why did she go do something amazing with life and I didn't? So the only way to like be okay with myself is one or two things. Go like, well, I guess I got some stuff to learn from her, or I need to justify why I'm here and they're there. And unconsciously we go, well, they must have done something bad. They must have ripped people off. They must have not cared about their family. They must like we make up a story, but it's not about hating them as much as it is those people trying to be okay with themselves and justify their own lack of success or existence, whatever it is, right? So like when they're hating on you, like just let that be their thing. And you know what's cool is the one of them will probably come to you quietly on the side and go like, and you really did something. Like, I got some questions. You know what I mean? And like, that's the one you're excited to help.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah, so man, we've learned a lot this in a little bit of time. I mean, really just thinking about reflecting, and
Yeah.
also it's emotional. A lot of our all of our battles in our mind, and going
Yeah.
back to, if you're going to change things, get up in the morning, get your list done, write your goals down,
Yes.
or whatever it is, your little things. I find this is that make
Yep.
it simpler as you can, because if it's not simple, you won't do it. It's just too
Yes.
much. We have
Start
too
with
much going on.
little, simple, and like you said, you can ask really how do you attack something really, really big? And I look at it as a wall, right? It's one brick a day. If you're worried about that whole wall of a couple thousand bricks, like that's it, whatever. It's just one a day, one a day, one a day. All of a sudden, you look up a little while later, like, oh shoot, I built the whole thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, keep it simple, one a day. Start with just getting a win on your wing, and don't worry, right? You're always going to want to be further, and that's okay. It's a journey. We're not supposed to arrive. We're supposed to just be add value every single day and be a little better today than we were yesterday. And if I can enjoy the playing the game as much as I enjoy winning the game, I've already won the game.
Yes, exactly. Thinking about this is getting a new system. Systems are important to have in place. And I will tell you what I've done for many years is that, because I'm an Excel person. So you might think, oh, that's too hard. Well, I promise you, I used to sit in my open houses and create Excel sheets and learn how the little formulas and all that. I'm such a weird person. But now I
I
don't have to.
love it.
You can go to Chat GPT, and I was like, I need an Excel.
Just
And
does it.
60
Yes.
seconds it makes it happen. But I create these systems in my Excel, and I have amazing systems. I got this system, that system, this
Yeah.
team, this A team. I got Texas database. I got a Texas.
Yeah.
I kind of telling you a little bit just so you kind of understand. This is Princess that wants to be a center of
Oh, I
attention.
love it. I love it.
No. So, anyways, what I do is for the whole year, write down everything, like your business, all of that stuff, even and all your debt or not debt or whatever,
Yeah.
but your goals. And at the end of the year, right there in front of you, you can see everything, and it's such a big win. And just
Yeah. Write those down. Yes.
yes. Because that little
Well,
win, even if
yeah.
it's paying off that one credit card or that one thing, you're like, oh my God, man, I remember when was discouraged about that, but look what I did. Or look, I want to reach and I used to want to bench press 200 pounds, and I only made it to 150. It's still my goal, even though I'm old. But I mean, like your little wins physically, your little wins of, oh my God, I told my brain what to do. I think they're
Yes.
entertained by my arms. But
Well, and here's my encouragement to everybody that's watched this in your world. It's like coach with Amy, get in your groups, and here's why. Because they're able to R&D. They're able to copy and paste what you figured out. So they don't need to start from scratch, right? You've done all this work to create systems and rhythms and routines and all these other things that work well. So people don't need to start from the dumbest way to do it is start from the beginning, right? Right. And do it on your own. The best way is go like, hey, Amy, like, hey, can you collapse like 10 years of time for me? And she goes, yeah, here's the thing, right? Here's the sheet. Here's the system. Here's what like, and that's the encouragement. It's like, don't try to do it on your own. Get with, I would encourage people to reach out to you all day long and work with you, because it's going to collapse time. It's going to save them a lot of time, a lot of bruises, a lot of wasted energy and effort. Like, just go do what already works. And if you know somebody that's like that has the stuff, just go do the stuff.
And everybody needs a coach. And I've started a new community
Everybody.
called SPF, or Spiritually, Physically, Financially Fit with Bacon Tribe. And today is my first day, even though my coach and I talked earlier in the week about starting it earlier. It took me like,
I love it. Hey, I love it. You're doing it.
I haven't even got my stuff up. I was like, I
You're
think
doing
it's
it.
3 or 4 hours every day this week. I think one day I only had 2 hours of sleep. Like I literally was like, no, I'm gonna get this done.
Yes, and I'm like, get ready, open the door, People are coming, they're waiting for you. So yeah, I'm excited for the line.
AmyBacon.com. I mean, how blessed am I to have my own .com. And so
That's
you
awesome.
can go on there now and you can join the tribe for $99 a month. We'll have a workshop every week. We're going to have challenges. We're going to grow. We're going to transform. I'm not looking for everybody. I'm just looking for people who want to grow spiritually, physically, and financially.
Absolutely.
And you can get on the waiting list for me to coach you personally. I'm not quite there yet. And but you guys, I do appreciate you supporting us, me. And Wayne Salmons, you're just an amazing person all day long. I tell you, I've seen him
incredible,
up
my
and
friend.
down and back up again. And I mean, if you think everything's going great, then and something punches him and knocks him down, but he's like, that's okay, I'm unstoppable. I mean, he's an unstoppable guy, amazing person, and always has great questions. And that's what I love about him. So you guys, thank you so much for joining.
Kind.
And we will,
and shout out to Studio USA. We got the amazing Rick Davis over here who's letting us hang out in the studio after the podcast. Yeah, you need to, Amy. You need to get up here. We need to shoot some episodes and stuff in here. So it's pretty great. So yeah, Rick is gracious enough to let me hang out and do this. So it's been great. Thank you very much, my friend.
Oh yeah, you have an amazing day, and everybody, I'm off for the weekend, so Monday 6 a.m. be up there. Let's pray. Let's do our morning reflection. Have a great day.